He's kind of got a bit of fine there, Kit, but let's listen to his bulletin.
From the Sky News Centre at 4, 4 children aged between 3 and 8 have been killed in a house fire in Stafford. A man, a woman and a baby are in hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Brian Pickering lives around 40 yards from the property and raised the alarm in the early hours.
Looked out the back window, the flames were lashing out the window. So I dashed to the phone, dial 999 for the fire service, and then within 10 minutes, easily less than that.
It's not yet known how the blaze started. Liam Neeson says he was compelled by a primal desire for revenge when he had repeated thoughts about killing a black man after someone close to him was raped. The actor has denied being a racist after being widely criticised for his comments. Theresa May has suggested she's looking for a time limit to the Irish backstop.
Always been one that Parliament has raised. It's been raised.
You can see Kit there, as well as writing the bulletin, is driving the bulletin desk himself as well, so playing out the clips that he's presumably edited himself as part of his bulletin.
The UK staying in the EU's customs union if there's no deal agreed for Britain's future trading relationship. The Prime Minister has been speaking in Belfast to reiterate her commitment to avoiding a hard Irish border. A body has been found in a lake by officers searching for a missing University of Reading student. 19-year-old Daniel Williams was reported missing after a night out on the White Knights campus on Thursday. The boss of the Canadian firm, which has bought HMV out of administration, says he paid a fair price for the chain, but won't reveal how much. It means 100 stores will be saved, but 27 which don't make any money have closed. And Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has been named in Liverpool's squad for the knockout stages of the Champions League. The England international hasn't played since April last year after suffering multiple ligament damage to his knee. That's the latest from Sky News. I'm Kit Bradshaw.
Great stuff, Kit. Thanks very much for that.
2 minutes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Off air.
Impressive stuff.
Slightly more pressure with you in case.
I know. It doesn't matter that you've got a camera and everyone watching you on the news channel.
No, absolutely.
I have to say, I very briefly for a few months did Sky News Radio, and it is a terrifying thing to have to make sure that you are timed to the exact word.
Yeah.
And I used to invariably end up halfway through my name going, "It's Katie."
Yeah.
The whole of the network.
And as you probably remember, what we do is we have all the back timings on our script, so
yes,
we know.
Yeah.
We
so
know, yeah.
The technique is that you've got the odd line that you could add in or take away.
Yeah, exactly. And I've timed exactly what times I should be hitting when I get to each story. So 108, 122, 134. And I knew when I got to the last story, which was about Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, that I was a couple of seconds ahead of myself, so that you might have heard I sort of started taking my time, slowed down. But if I needed it, I had extra lines in brackets, so I could have told you more about his knee injury if I'd needed to. But yeah, didn't need to in the end.
Just before we leave you, hands.
Yeah, I don't know why I put that as my interesting fact.
I love it.
It was years ago that I worked at an Apple store and I was roped into being a hand model. But journalism now, no more hand modelling.
We'll leave you, Jane, on a shot of the hands, shall we?
Never lived this down. No.
49
Fine set of hands that they are. Interesting to think about the different news agendas also. Sky News News Channel led on the story about Brexit. We're now hearing from Faisal. You can see him up on the right-hand screen, our political editor, talking to Jonathan Samuels in the studio about what Theresa May has said on the Irish border. On radio, they led on the house fire. So different stories for different markets.
Thank you.
For the future, she was suggesting
Take a bit of May here.
The backstop could be changed. If I can sort of try to explain this simply.
So there'll be a grab.
Home desk, hi, it's Emma in the gallery.
Throw to here, Arlene Foster.
Hello, Mike. Am I expecting Adele Robinson live this hour?
She wants to change it.
Lovely, she knows, does she?
A different type
Thank you so much.
Now, I think that some in the DUP, some in the European Research Group won't like the
So he's got grab, Jonathan, he'll pick up from.
So Emily has now eaten her cupcake. Breaking news. And she's looking ahead in her running order to see what's coming up next. She wants to go to Adele Robinson, who's one of our reporters who's out on location. So she was just buzzing through on the intercom to the home desk there to check that Adele is available and that she's going to be able to bring her up on the TV soon.
Or some sort of change, an expiry date, which the Attorney General is looking at. Those are the rough two options. But I think some Brexiters have picked this up and thought that there were the chances that the entire backstop would go. She is clear here to this audience of Northern Irish business people that there will be some sort of backstop in this agreement. Now, I spoke to Arlene Foster, the leader of the DUP, the party that supports her in office, earlier today here in Belfast. And I asked her what exactly...
So Ben, the director, he's been in and out of the gallery throughout the day, an hour on, an hour off. It's the current system that they're working on. So he's looking ahead to the hour that he's on screen and the hour that he's off screen, looking to help build that running order and make sure that all the coding is correct.
Faisal will pick up, yeah?
Yes, please.
Faisal will pick up here. 15 seconds, Faisal. 10 seconds.
And then in the little box in the bottom right, that's Darren. He's coding the next hour. So he'll be coming into the gallery at 5 o'clock. So he's now looking ahead to that running order, working out any particular codes that need to be put in to ensure it all runs smoothly.
It's worth noting
so stand by Jonathan's mic.
Becky,
hi, you'll be next, okay? I'll follow you through all that stuff you got to do.
Went out of their way to back the Northern Ireland withdrawal deal, originally negotiated by the Prime Minister, to back...
Alan, can you look at 70 for me, mate? There's something not right. Story 70.
So Ben's just asking Alan, the co-director, to just look at something. There's something coming up in the running order that Ben thinks doesn't look right. Because it's all automated and coded, a digit or a letter wrong can throw the whole system. So Alan's now looking ahead to work out what the issue is.
Camera 9 next. Jonathan's mic in. Cut 9.
Just about 5, just about. Thank you very much indeed.
And drop down on 9, back to the desk.
Now, detectives
thanks, Faisal, you're clear.
Fatal fire in Stafford have released names of the 4 children who died. The youngsters have yet to be formally identified.
Back in vision next.
So just a moment ago, they were talking to Becky Johnson. She's out on location, and they're going to be coming to her next.
Rose Unit Age 4 and Ollie Unit Aged 3. The children's parents, Matthew Unit,
mixing out here. Stand by, we're going back to the wall next. OS6 delayed. And mix in vision. Over you go, 9. Opening the wall. Stand by, OS6 delayed.
Photograph. It's just heartbreaking, isn't it? What more are you learning about the family?
Mic's out. Delay. Cut.
This is just so shocking, and
so we'll see the children again, please.
And the family were very well known. And you know, you look at that picture, and we can see 6-year-old Keegan with his 4-year-old sister Tilly.
She's gonna. You can lose Jonathan's mic. She's gonna do a lot here.
8-year-old Riley,
including a big graphic and a grab.
Family photograph, and it just breaks your heart.
Ben, the director's now looking ahead to all the things that he's going to have to do while Becky's live is on air. So he said that she's going to be talking to a graphic, so he has to make sure that that is queued up. If she's going to talk to any particular clips from interviews, he has to make sure that's queued up, and any images as well that may be being used to float over. You can see that image has just come up on the Sky screen. He has to make sure that those images are in place as well.
A little look behind me, if I step out the way, you can see the family home. It's an end terrace house. You can see an awful lot of investigation work underway.
Next. It's a long graphic.
They're trying to understand just how this
also, she's going to read here, story 47, all right, just so you know.
By the time firefighters arrived about 10:53 this morning, that fire was well alight on the first floor. And in the last few minutes, we've had some tributes from the children's school teachers. They say Riley, now he was 8, was a very confident, excitable member of school.
Adele, it's Em in the gallery. Can you hear me?
Enthusiasm. He was a caring friend who hated to see anyone
Hi, darling.
hurt
I'm going to come to you next.
Just
checking that you are
and we heard that Tilly,
at Woolwich Crown Court.
was a happy little girl who loved coming to nursery. She was friendly and caring.
Brilliant. It's Jonathan presenting and you are next. I've got no elements for you to throw to. It's just a straight up and down live.
We've also heard a 23-year-old Ollie,
Change
who was a happy, loving boy who loved cuddles. He was always happy to come to nursery and loved to be in the role play area with the dolls. And then 6-year-old Keegan's teachers say he was lively, full of fun and mischief, with a really endearing smile. He loved school, and everyone who worked with him loved him. We were all proud of him and the progress that he'd made, and the teachers say it's very hard to accept what's happened. Our school community are understanding.
Millbank, hi, it's Em in the gallery. Can you hear me?
To Becky next, she's going to throw to a grab.
Give me one sec. At this difficult time.
Well, let's step away from the gallery for now. That is the ongoing output on Sky News, coming away from that house fire in Stafford. Back out in the newsroom, though, Katie has been doing the rounds. Who are you with now, Katie?
I've joined the evening team again to come and sort of see how it's all progressing. Bayer is one of you're working as a producer today, also work as a reporter for us as well.
No.
Well, you're doing some reports, though, aren't you?
No, so I'm producing original stories.
Original content for us, yeah. Okay, one thing you need, every good journalist needs, look at this notepad, come on, detailed notes of what you're working on tonight, Bayer.
Exactly.
How's it going? What is your responsibility then in the team tonight?
So tonight I was first asked to seeing the Diane Magne story. Right. So she's doing a piece on fake news in Russia, and although it was already cut out in Moscow, my job is to make sure that it's where it needs to be, make sure that we have all the right name titles and all the right tags, and essentially if anything goes wrong, I suppose it's down to me. But yeah, that's my job today, and also...
We saw you I caught you in an edit suite a bit earlier with Nick Phipps, who's output editor, so it's you checking with Nick that everything's okay with it.
It's a very collaborative process, so the piece comes in, I go and speak to the editor, I make sure that again, everything's where it needs to be, and if anything's not where it needs to be, I sort of instruct them what they need to do, and then once that's done and I feel it's at a good enough standard, I bring Nick in, and Nick basically says yes or no. Yeah. And if he says no, then you have to go back and figure
Start again.
Start again, you have to start again, yeah.
Can I ask you as well how long you've been here as well? You're fairly new, aren't you, to working here as a producer?
Yeah, so I've been with Sky News for 6 months, but my sort of career at Sky started 4 years ago, so it's a bit weird.
But this is what I love about Sky News. It's the brilliant way that you can come here and get experience and then come return and sort of work your way up. So what were you doing 4 years ago?
So 4 years ago, I was a school leaver. So at 18, I joined Sky Sports as an intern. Was here for a year. It was amazing. Worked across Spanish football, Soccer AM, cricket, various teams. I then went to uni, studied journalism, got loads of experience, and then the right opportunities came up.
So you came here, you realised what you needed in order to sort of get the jobs that you wanted to do, and then you're back here again.
Yeah, and obviously as well, the great thing about being involved with people at Sky is that people kept an eye out for me. Yeah. So obviously, I think I made a decent impression, and when opportunities came up, they, buzzed through to me and said, would you like to have a part of this or play a part in that? And yeah. So
anyone who is watching who is perhaps a student and wanting to get in on the ground, do you think it does really help to come and meet people and get your face known, I guess?
One, it makes the difference if you come and meet people and get your face known. Two, what I did was I was doing things away from Sky. And I think that impressed them, and that's at a local level as well, not just at a national level. I was just showing that, I've got the basic instincts of, to be a journalist, and I have the basic skills. Obviously, those have to be refined, but if you just put in the effort and you show that you've got enterprise and you're driven, then that makes the right impression. But also, Sky have actually started going to universities in the north and outside of London. And looking for students, and they've actually made me an ambassador to do that.
Oh, wow, great.
If there are any students who are interested in getting into journalism, email me, if you have any ideas.
Oh, come on, Bayer. How do we get in touch? What's the email address?
My email's bayer.kablu, so beya.kabelu@sky.uk, and I'm very happy to give advice, help people out, and share a little bit of knowledge if I have any.
I love it. You're doing so well. Thank you, Bayer. Very nice to meet you. Good luck with all of the stuff that you're seeing in. And we'll let you cross back to the live feed then. We're approaching the 5 o'clock hour when Mark Austin's going to be taking over.
I do fear, Katie, that Bayer may regret doing that. Let's take you back to the newsroom. There you can see Mark Austin. He's preparing for his evening show tonight. But also later on this evening, we're going to be crossing to Millbank, and we're going to be seeing Sky News Tonight, which is on from 7 till 9, presented, of course, by Dermot Murnahan. That's the Millbank editorial desk. That's where the political unit sits. And there's Dermot lurking in the corner. That is actually a shared chair. You heard it here first. Adam Bolton and Dermot Murnahan, hot desk, hot chair. As Adam leaves, Dermot comes in. So they share that space. Enda Brady is down there to talk us through what happens in Millbank from that side of the office, the guest-getting team and the evening production team. Enda.
Hi, Jane. Yeah, let's go find out. So we have all our guest-getting team here. These are the cameras, by the way, that you can see all the newsroom on. So they're remote controlled. I've just seen it move. All the wires and cables and everything that it needs to work and function. And the guest getting team, we have Gemma here first of all. Gemma, quick hello. I know you're busy. What are you working on?
So I'm working on Sky News tonight, and I'm just looking for a guest on the State of the Union.
Any ideas so far?
Dermot's given me some ideas. So we've already got a former media advisor for Trump as a pre-record. So we're now looking for someone who's more to the left to come on and talk about it and talk about...
So you'll have a couple of guests?
Yeah.
Brilliant, from both sides of the argument.
Exactly.
OK, right, we'll move along. Lucy is next. Lucy, what are you working on?
I am working on All Out Politics with Adam Bolton for tomorrow. And we are looking at definitely some political guests. Probably we'll have a guest on about the Canada Free Trade Agreement and also the UK one. There's an event tomorrow with David Davis, former Brexit Secretary, and Greg Hands. We're hoping to get an interview with one of them. So
will Adam ring in tonight to give you suggestions about guests, or will you liaise with him?
Usually we liaise with him. We have a chat with him before he leaves after the show today, and then it'll be via email, kind of his suggestions and working on what's happening. If anything obviously breaks or anything changes, then we can readjust.
Good luck. Thank you, Lucy. And finally, Cloudy is here, and she is working on an interview that you recorded earlier on. This is a famous photographer.
Yes, so Don McCullin. So myself and Dermot went to an exhibition, which he's doing at the Tate, and filmed an interview with him this morning. So I'm now cutting it down.
All the best bits of the interview, just all the key points.
All the key points, trying to keep everything in, but yeah.
I'm hoping Dermot asked some good questions. We'll go and ask him. Dermot, how are you today?
Well, great. I mean, very excited about the Don McCullin interview because he's an absolute legend. 60 years in the business. Vietnam War, basically every conflict since the 1960s, and to actually get to meet him was incredible. And I must say, the job that Cloudy's doing is probably one of the most difficult that anyone will ever have, because I got so excited doing the interview, and the fact is that we were pre-recording it. So
you kept talking.
We kept talking. Well, he keeps talking as well, but every single word he says is a gem. Now, you and I know that when you do an interview, you listen as a reporter, thinking, right, if we've got to cut it down, we won't use that bit, and that bit's really good. With Don, 20 minutes, every word, an absolute gem. So Cloudy and I are, discussing really the hardest part, which is what you leave out to get it down to kind of broadcast length. Just every anecdote, every story. You can see the photographs on the walls behind him in the gallery. As he talks about those in particular, there's a shell-shocked Vietnam Marine, isn't there, who he takes a photograph of just after a shell has dropped, which nearly got him. Thankfully, Don survived. So did the Marine. But he was so shocked that he said he took 5 shots of the Marine as he kind of retired, got off the scene. And the Marine didn't blink once because he was gone. And it's in those eyes that you actually see the horror of the Vietnam War without actually seeing any blood, any gore, any guts. Amazing photography.
So your time frame of the day, a lot of the day's political events have already happened. A lot of the news has happened in the day, and you're wrapping up in the evening. You've got a great kind of period of time to reflect on the day, and we know pretty much what's going to be on the front pages tomorrow.
And we also do have a great location as well, in that we're just across the road from Westminster. So on the big political days, and we've been having an awful lot of those recently. We can get a stream of the politicians in here and interview them face to face, which really makes a heck of a difference. It must be said today, though, the political action, the Brexit actions taking place in Northern Ireland. So our political editor Faisal Islam's doing that. So we're touching wood, pretty Brexit light tonight from my point of view.
You've been broadcasting a long time. Have you ever seen anything like Sky News Raw?
A long time. Seen anything like it?
Sky News Raw. I mean, what has happened today? Cameras coming in, everyone being interviewed.
No, nothing like it at all. But that's part of Sky News. The thing is that 30 years ago we thought we were innovating, and we were, innovating by just doing a 24-hour channel. Now it seems very commonplace, and during the discussions I've been having during the course of this week about the future of the news, people keep referring to us as legacy broadcasters, mainstream media. So we're just showing people that, hey, we can do an awful lot of other things as well. And if you want to see how we make these decisions, if you want to disagree with them, but certainly if you want to understand how they come about, what appears on your screen, what appears on your phone, what appears online, this is how we do it.
What advice would you give to any young person out there at college or university wanting to get into the media and wondering if it's something that they can achieve or would even want to go and do?
Yeah, I'd say, you know, you did mention how long I've been in the media. I mean, I started an old route going through newspapers and whatever. There are many different routes in, but I think the formula stays the same, and it goes for all of us, all my colleagues here at Sky News, front of camera, behind camera, is, you know, pursue a passion, be interested, learn how to communicate. And follow that through. Don't necessarily think I have to be this, that, or the other. Follow those through. If it really is journalism for you, there are many different routes in. It doesn't necessarily have to be papers, radio, or TV as it was in my day. Now there are many, many other ways in. But at the end of the day, I would also say try and get paid for it, because if you want to make a career out of it, there are many ways that I see nowadays for people to produce some pretty good quality journalism. You know, particularly online, and you know, you wouldn't be able to live off it.
Still a great time to be in the business?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I was originally a historian by training, and I spent, now looking back at it, too long doing it, many years doing postgraduate attempts. and I suddenly realised there's an old cliche about journalism that you have a front row seat at the making of history. Now, I hate cliche, but that's one I will buy into. It's absolutely true. I mean, the things that I've seen in the 35 years I've been in the business is quite unbelievable.
That's brilliant, Dermot. Thanks for your time. Couldn't have put it better myself. A front row seat in the making of history and 30 years of Sky News history today. So Sky News Raw. I'm going to leave you with a shot of our Millbank newsroom. Everyone just going about their day. It has been a busy day. A lot of the action happened in Downing Street. We started off with cabinet arrivals, and then there was the Prime Minister heading off to Belfast giving that speech. And there we have Beth Rigby. Let's actually just go and we'll grab a quick word with Beth. And Beth is never short of anything to say. So, Beth, tell me.
Yeah.
What's going to be on the front pages tomorrow?
I don't know. No idea.
You know everything. Come on.
I've been deep in thought, doing a Sky Views column today. It's going to be on the website tomorrow.
Sneak preview. What's it about?
What do you think it's about?
Politics,
what might I be?
Brexit?
Yeah, it's about Brexit. I think on the front page tomorrow will be whatever happened in Ireland today. I think actually the Prime Minister had maybe a little glimmer of hope today, because Arlene Foster and the DUP sort of seemed to suggest that she might help her out on the issue of this Irish backstop.
Well, I was in Downing Street and I saw some
you?
members of the DUP coming out. They did not look very happy.
Didn't they?
They did not look very happy.
Faces like thunder. Huh? Well, Arlene Foster, the mood music, I think, was quite positive for the Prime Minister from her.
So do you feel something has shifted today, maybe?
No, she might just be chipping away at it. She's going to Brussels, I think, later this week as well. But I've spoken to lots of Brexiteers today as well, and they're saying she's got to get that withdrawal agreement. That's the international treaty. That is our exit deal from the EU, that she's got to get that reopened and renegotiated. I think we've got 50 days to go.
And yet Brussels have said that
They've said no.
It's closed,
They've said no, and also it's taken 2 years to negotiate it. So that's why some people would say that her going to Brussels is riding off on a unicorn, that this is fantasy politics. Look, she's probably going to come back with something. The question is, can she get enough of her Brexiteers to get it through the Commons? Adam Bolton thinks she can, and I always agree with Adam Bolton.
There we go. We're in Millbank, and he is the king of this palace a lot of the time, so we'll have to agree with Adam Bolton. Back to you, Jane. A fantastic day's coverage here in Westminster on Sky News Raw.
Thanks, Enda.
Yeah, it's been moved back and it's going to the Old Bailey.
There you can see Enda just there on the monitor in the middle of your screen there. This is the newsroom. If you've been watching us all day, one, why aren't you doing something else? But two, it has been compelling viewing. Lots of people are saying that they are absolutely tuned to us. If you were watching from 7 o'clock this morning when we started, the newsroom was a little bit quieter than it is now. Throughout the day, it's been interesting to see how stories have developed. Now the big push is ahead to the 5 o'clock programme, fronted by Mark Austin. There's the head of news, John Riley, talking to Mark Olfold, the head of social and digital.
One of the jobs is to keep the WhatsApp job.
Are they tweeting each other? Are they texting each other? We've had lots of people asking us questions. We were asked what a slab was a while ago. A slab is a chunk of video or a chunk of interview that we put out on air. Somebody wanted to know what Sky Sources means. When we talk about Sky Sources, it's when one of our reporters has spoken to somebody that they trust, that they believe, or they may have seen a document with their own eyes, but it hasn't been officially announced. So, for example, a good example would be Mark Kleinman's exclusive on Sunday that the people of Nissan were going to be told that the X-Trail wasn't going to be built there. It was at Sky Sources on Sunday. It was announced officially by Nissan on Monday. Neil Dunwoody there talking to John Riley. Neil Dunwoody, head of output.
Good, okay.
There's Francesca, who is coming to the end of her shift. She's been output editing throughout the whole day here on Sky News. She gets in really early in the morning, goes to all the early morning meetings and works out which stories we're going to be covering throughout the day on Sky News. A little sneaky fact about Francesca. Her brother told her to put some makeup on after she appeared on the telly earlier this morning. She doesn't need it. As Darren, over the last hour, we've seen him building the running order and assisting the producer in building the running order, because he's one of the directors. He's going to be going in at 5 o'clock into the gallery. So he's checking that the coding is right on each of the slugs that's put into the running order, because if the coding isn't right, it won't go on the telly, and it just takes a digit or a letter to be wrong, and it doesn't work. Mark Austin there, of course. He's got about half an hour to go before his programme starts. So this last half an hour before you go on air is quite a crucial time for a presenter. You're going through your notes that you've made since you've been in. You'll have sat and read some articles, done some background, and you'll have written some questions. So it's a chance for you to perhaps go over and review questions you've asked. You're going to ask what answers you think you might get, what supplementary questions you could maybe have, any extra background reading that you want to do, and then if you've got time, you then get to go through all the scripts. So going through, rewriting scripts, tweaking scripts, putting them in your own words, makes it easier to read for you. And that goes on while you're on air as well. You know, presenters read ahead. We often, on the lunchtime shift, read ahead to see what scripts are coming up and how we can alter them. Just been told that we can cross to Washington now. We've been across the UK today, but now we're going across the world. Becky Cottrell is across there for us. This is Sky News' Washington studio. Hi, Becky, give us a tour.
Hi, yes, so this is the office in our Washington bureau. Just have a little look round. It's quite small. There's only actually 6 of us here in DC. So this desk here is where I sit. I am one of the producers, so it's my job to work with the correspondents. So we're putting together TV packages, planning stories. And one of the main difficulties we face is trying to plan stuff where we can get out of DC, speak to people, see how they're feeling, often about the president, but also having to cover the on-the-day news. So often we'll have a conversation in the morning, see what the president's doing. There are kind of multiple news lines on any day, depending on what Trump's up to and kind of how he's been behaving recently. So I often will be kind of looking at this monitor, watching what Trump's up to. There'll be kind of unscheduled press conferences that we'll have to look out for. And we kind of have to think about how much time we designate to the president and, you know, the things that he often uses to distract the media from unfavourable coverage, and also, you know, responding to things like shootings or just, you know, other big stories that are playing out big across the networks here. One of the most kind of memorable Trump incidents of recent times was when he had that very bizarre meeting with Kanye West in the Oval Office. So we all gathered around one screen and kind of watched in amazement as the two had this pretty bizarre encounter. I don't know if you remember it. It's well worth watching back. And then over here we've got where the correspondents sit, so Cordelia and Amanda. Amanda is actually away in Venezuela at the moment, and Cordelia is in the edit suite. I'll take you in there in a moment. And then over here, she's not here right now, but this is where Emily sits. She is the bureau chief, and she's in charge of the DC operation, as well as New York and LA, where we also have teams. Now, I will take you through it. There's Emily, very busy woman. So this is our edit suite. So in here we've got Dickon and Cordelia. Dickon is one of our cameramen, so he shoots everything you see and edits everything you see. And him and Cordelia are working on an interview they did earlier.
Yeah,
tell us a bit about it.
Just spoken to Deputy Press Secretary Raj Shah, You might remember he worked very closely with Sarah Huckabee Sanders. He's left the White House, and it's really intriguing. He's quite open and candid about his time working there. Talks about some of his regrets, about learning about the president's policies from tweets and having to try and manage the message, and a bit about the State of the Union, which of course is tonight as well. So quite open and frank, which is good.
Good, so they're working on this now. As you can see, we've got these screens above us, so that's all the feeds we have coming in, whether it's President Trump in the White House or politicians on the Hill over at Congress. And over here, so you might not get a sense of it, but this is an extremely small room, and over here is where the correspondents will often do their live hits. This is the background we have. It's not as exciting as what I'm going to show you in a moment up on the roof. So kind of depending on how busy it is on any given day, we've got an edit space there, an edit space there, so we've got an edit going on, a correspondent could be doing live hits, so it can all get a bit chaotic, especially when Trump throws a curveball late afternoon and we all have to scramble. And I will, in a second, be taking you up on the roof, and that's a nice view of the Capitol building in the background.
Okay. Becky, thanks very much for that. Great to see all the team in Washington. Not seen some of them for quite a long time, so it's lovely to see who's behind the scenes and what the Washington Bureau looks like. We're used to seeing the reporter, but we don't get to see all the people who are behind the scenes making it all happen. Well, what about where it all happens here in West London? And this is NOC, the News Operations Centre. This is where all the images from elsewhere come in, foreign bureaus, satellite trucks, digitally, and also where the live interviews come in. And as these images come in, the people in NOC liaise with the gallery, so they let the gallery and the home desk and the foreign desk know if important images have come through that they think should be going on the telly or that they know people are waiting for. So it's a really crucial centre. Katie Spencer is there for us, with Lisa Robson, I believe, the manager of Sky News NOC. She's been ducking and diving out of the cameras today. She's been desperately avoiding being on the telly, but you've cornered her, Katie.
It was the only way we were going to actually get to talk to her, weren't we? She's been dodging cameras all day. Lisa, we've got you now, haven't we?
I'm a very camera-shy person normally, yes.
Well, I guess that's part of the joy of today, isn't it? It's actually everyone who wouldn't normally be on TV.
Exactly.
We're getting to sort of see what each other does, aren't we? So you're the manager here.
I am, yes.
I mean, it's a huge bank of sort of feeds that we can see coming in front of you guys.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys are doing? Sort of explain what's happening?
I'm not watching a lot of TV.
No, okay.
Yeah, there is a huge bank. You get very used to kind of noticing when things are going wrong because kind of the colours change or what have you. But it's amazingly, it is in an organised, so there's incoming feeds coming on one side, outgoing feeds going on the other. So you learn to know which way to look. So we could probably find you in that group.
I mean, if we just sort of quickly sort of look over here, it looks like one of your team, are they setting up a Skype interview over there?
Tim D is doing a Skype guest, which is going to be on the news channel shortly. So he's just lined up the guest who's obviously waiting to go on air. So
making sure they can hear correctly.
And once everything's established, so the important thing is that vision and good comms are established so that everybody can hear each other and that the guest feels comfortable. So we're the first point of contact. So we introduce ourselves, say who we are, say you're going to be on air, you know, we're going to put you through the gallery, so hopefully reassure them. So it can be a very nerve-wracking experience being on air.
Yeah, I mean, we try to stay away from Skypes if we can, don't we? Because sometimes the delays can just be so painful, and that's one of the things that you guys have to dial in and dial in again to see if it's
totally
working.
Right. And also, depending on the region you're in, your broadband connection, it relies on broadband, so your connection could be amazing or it could be a little bit different. So if you've got kind of family and friends watching kind of things upstairs or streaming online, that could
ruin your live on Sky News.
So you have to tell your kind of children, would you mind not going online for 5 minutes? I'm just going to appear on Sky News, something like that. So that's how it works.
Talk us through who else we've got here. What other people are doing?
Rod is one of the NOC supervisors, along with Richard Westwood. So Rod Laverick is on a late shift today, and he has been responsible for switching a lot of the source feeds for your Gallery 8.
Oh, okay.
So the last half an hour. So it's been a bit of a flurry, hasn't it, Rod?
It has been.
So it's been a very busy day.
Busier than normal.
Yeah. So this chap here is Nick Sparks, and he plays a big role in because he's the voice ident.
Just like yourself, Katie, you probably heard me coming through.
Before you came to us, we had some issues, which was the reason that we were delayed. Communications, comms in our ear. at the moment, I'm getting a feed of the gallery that are going to be talking to me, but when we sort of test whether or not we've got comms, there is an ident that is your voice, which says...
happens to be me. This is the Sky News circuit for London.
Which repeats over and over again and drives you slightly crazy until you actually get to hear your proper gallery. But so that's a big part of it, though, isn't it? Communication with people out in the field.
Exactly. So making sure you've got communication and comms. So if you dial up and you don't obviously hear anything, then instantly you know that there's a problem. So the first thing you generally do is call us and we sort it out and make it happen.
Yeah. And so what are you guys doing at the moment? We're looking like we're...
So I think you're going to get a sneak preview of what's about to happen next. So this is the team in Washington who have just gone to our rooftop. So
this is getting terribly confusing. Behind the scenes is behind the scenes
behind the scenes,
behind the scenes.
So they've just relocated. So I'm just making sure that it's all stable and it works. And so far, so good.
Well, in that case, perhaps we should cross across to Washington then, in that case. Thank you.
Indeed, thank you.
Hi, yes, so welcome back to Washington. So the last time you saw us, we were in our kind of slightly grotty, to be honest, edit suite downstairs. Now we're on the roof of our building, and in the background we've got the Capitol building, which is probably kind of the most iconic building associated with the political wrangling here in Washington. This is where our reporters do their lives as much as possible. So this is Sky News' spot. Either Cordelia or Amanda, our correspondents, will stand here. The Capitol's in the background. Tonight, we'll also have Greg up here. So it's President Trump's State of the Union address. That's an annual thing where he goes over there and speaks to the congressmen and women and the senators and kind of tells them how he thinks the country is doing under his leadership. Apparently, his message is going to be all about kind of bringing people together and, you know, cutting through the divisiveness. So we'll see how that goes down. And as you can see, looking across here, we've got other live spots that the other networks use. So we share this with the likes of Fox News and MSNBC, who are American networks, obviously. And then Channel 4 News and ITV News also have spaces up here. So the reporters very much have to stand in their spot and kind of drone out the sound of the other correspondents if they're doing lives at the same time. And tonight will be particularly busy with State of the Union. If you look again, you can see some of the networks have already got their spots set up in preparation. And so that's 8 p.m. local time. So we'll be reporting on that live and into sunrise, so morning time in the UK. And if you look over here, this isn't so glamorous. You can see lots of kind of untidy wires and chairs strewn across. This is where the cameramen would kind of keep all their equipment. And it might not look too hot now. I'm in a coat, but it kind of gets unbearably hot in the summer. And you can often see pasty-looking British and American cameramen taking shelter under there in between lives so that they don't get sunburnt. And this is obviously where we would plug in for our lives, and the cameramen would have to come up early and get connection with London and make sure that it's all okay before the live. And then just finally, I'm going to point out we've got a giant American flag on our roof space. Now, that is a very common sight in America. They are incredibly patriotic. And if you look, you probably can't see, but as I look out across here, all the buildings have stars and stripes on them. And at times, you know, of national mourning, most recently, I'm thinking of the death of George H.W. Bush, the former president. The president will order for these flags to be lowered to half-mast, so they will all go down. And I think that's pretty much it from here in Washington.
Thanks so much. That was really, really great. And great to see the roof there up at West in Washington. And it is, I can attest, very, very windy, very cold in the winter and blindingly hot in the sunshine. Right, we're back here in West London. This is the newsroom. A lot of energy throughout the day has been going into what's going to happen in the next 20 minutes or so, the 5 o'clock hour with Mark Austin. A lot of energy going into packaging for that and into getting some good guests for that. You can just see Katie there walking through in the middle of the newsroom again. It's been interesting for those of you who've been watching it throughout the day, how stories have developed throughout the day, stories that were first mentioned this morning. Liam Neeson was a story that was bubbling around a little bit this morning. By mid-morning, it had really ramped up, and then we got a new interview from him this afternoon, and it's moved up the running order throughout the day because of what's happened to it. Interesting also, when you look at these shots of the newsroom, how the different outlets have taken the same story and used it differently. So we've seen Sky News leading on a different story to Sky News Radio, and those in turn will be different stories that will be the top clicked stories on mobile or on the iPad, etc. Back on the foreign desk now, it's Justin Bosanquet And we were hearing from Carol earlier, who's the head of our international operations, about the significance of the foreign desk. It's a really tricky job working on the foreign desk. You've really got to know your stuff. It's not just understanding about UK news, obviously, it's about knowing international news, knowing who are the people to call in different countries when a story may unexpectedly happen. There's Neil Dunwoody. He is head of output, head of the output editors. I think we're hoping to talk to Neil, actually.
Sorry, live at 5, Des.
He's playing it quiet at the moment. So Darren, the director that we were watching earlier, who hopefully will have built the next hour by now, will have checked it for any glitches. But a lot of attention at the moment being focused on what's actually going out on the telly. Let's talk to some of the daytime output team. Katie's there with Andy Milburn, I think. Let's just let the camera settle. Hi, Katie. Hi, Andy.
Sorry. Hello, yes. So what time are we on at the moment? So we're about 5 o'clock, busy time for those people like Andy, who's assistant editor today, who is building the rundown for 5, aren't you?
Yeah.
How is it going? Has anything changed? Is everything sort of fairly in place?
We're looking in a really good shape, actually. The programme's pretty much done. I've checked everything up until about 5:10, so that's pretty good.
And is there any? Is there a VT that's running in the 5 as well?
So there is. We've got 2 VTs, 2 stories, which we have been doing as live stories throughout the day, which we're doing VTs on for 5 o'clock.
So these are VTs from scratch, so
Yeah,
they're
so people-
hopefully in the works at the moment.
Yeah, they're in the works in edit suites. VTs are always the most stressful thing to get on air. They take a very long time, and there's a question mark as to whether or not they will actually make.
This is the exciting time of day, isn't it? So we're going to just quickly, thank you, Andy, have a chat to Francesca, the output editor. Is that what you've been doing? Have you been going down the edit
yes, I've
suites?
just been in one of the edit
Taking a look?
suites looking at Becky's piece, which is almost there. They're just making a few final touches to it. The other piece, the Ian Woods piece, is coming on, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that'll be
sometimes
there.
when it is down to the wire, we do a thing called hot rolling, don't we?
That's right. Let's hope they're on telly this evening, but there could well be. Like I said, I haven't been able to watch the Woods piece yet. So.
And is it? I mean, it's sometimes we're packaging for 5, sometimes we're packaging for 7, aren't we? So it's depending on when the footage is available.
Yeah,
and how
that's right.
quickly
It depends how the story's gone throughout the day. I mean, with Stafford, obviously, it's been an awful story, but we've heard from the emergency services and we've heard from neighbours. So the elements are there. It's just about making sure that we can edit it in time.
Has the news agenda changed much today? I know you were waiting for Theresa May to speak this afternoon.
I mean, it's been kind of as we thought it would go. Theresa May was very good, very strong on the backstop, so we've got that top. Stafford, like I said, is a really emotional story. The Liam Neeson has had us all talking in the newsroom all day, and Ian's got some great elements for that, including the John Barnes interview that we did earlier. Hatton Guard, and we're getting some good lines from that now. So yeah, there haven't been any major unexpected developments.
Maybe we should go and take a look and see how Ian's piece is progressing.
Do let me know that it's going to make.
We'll check for you, shall we? Right, okay, let's take you down the edit corridor and we can see whether or not this VT is probably going to be published on time or whether they're going to have to do a thing called hot rolling, which I will explain to you when we go in there. So, edit 1. Belinda is in here and she's the person that we always come to ask what edit suite we need to go into. So we're looking for Ian Wood's edit suite.
He is doing next door, I think, doing edit 2.
Edit 2? Dead easy, it's just the next door room to here, so we will... Edit 4. Slightly longer walk, but it's only 2 extra rooms. So we will come this way. Hello! Hello! Oh, no one in there. Ian Woods, right. So we may have to be quiet and we might not be able to stay that long, depending on how high pressured the situation is at the moment. Ian Woods. I'm so sorry, you're live on Sky News Raw at the moment. Is this pressured time?
No, it's
so we're building
not.
up to the
The VT is due to go out at 5:05. We've got 20 minutes, which is a lifetime in television news,
I'm
except when you're the editor like Jen. But we are pretty much finished. But being perfectionists, we like to sort of fiddle around with things and There's an interview which I think should be perhaps higher up in the report, which we're still toying with a way of trying to swap things around. So there's always debate right up until airtime.
But what looks good, I don't know if the camera can sort of spin around to see what Jen's on at the moment. This is a relief because you've got no black holes in there, which is the main thing. There's pictures covering everything. So now it's just sort of tweaking and finessing, is it?
And we had a very late interview that we just put in as well. Right, okay. We were all done and ready for you, Katie. And then someone said some very interesting things that we thought added to the story.
Jen, can I ask you if you have got time as well? Hot rolling. What? So hopefully we're going to publish this. It will be dropped into the rundown. What is hot rolling? Because that is if we don't have enough time to publish, isn't it?
Yeah, hot rolling is when instead of all the redundancy of publishing a flattened file and it going into the system and then a very sturdy machine playing it out on air, instead we just dial up the gallery and we play it and they just record from our screen and it goes straight out.
So it can be literally Mark Austin would be reading the intro link and then the director in the gallery would say, cue.
We're talking to them saying, make the intro longer. We're almost there.
And you just have to hit the space bar and play it out straight away.
Yeah.
So that is a scenario that we want to at all costs avoid.
No.
No?
Hot rolling is fine. We don't want to miss our slot. That's what we want to avoid.
That's the main thing. Has this story changed much from how you thought it would be?
Yeah, I mean, Jen, are you all right to carry on with us in here, or shall we step outside?
Shall we step out?
We'll step out into the corridor because otherwise work isn't getting done.
Sorry.
Yes, because this morning when we had our morning meeting, we didn't really expect, frankly, to have Liam Neeson on the programme. We thought we'd still be talking about the audio clips from the original interview.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was appearing on Good Morning America...
Is that just a coincidence?
I think he was already booked. He's on the media tour at the moment, so he was booked to do this slot.
Because he's promoting a film. That's how it came out.
Because he's promoting a film. And ABC were saying, well, credit to you for still turning up and doing the interview, despite all the backlash that he's had over the past 24 hours. But when we were planning the story, we thought the ingredient we probably wouldn't have was Liam Neeson.
Yes.
So you're building other elements around it. And having built those other elements, you still want to keep as many of those elements as possible. So, for example, we decided that we wanted to talk to someone who is involved in the publicity side of things, in crisis management. How do you deal with a situation like this? So we went to Dominic Moen, who's a former editor of The Sun, who's done lots of junket interviews in the past and knows how bland they normally are and can talk in that context, but can also advise, now that he's working as a crisis management consultant, about what he should do. Now, this is a typical story that I often end up with, where you're pulling together different elements from different places. So you've got interview in America, you've got an interview with John Barnes, the former England footballer, talking about this, who's in the northwest of England. I'm in London.
Yeah.
You always kind of want your reporter to be somehow seen to be involved in the story, as opposed to just spending all his time in an edit suite. So I made a point of driving into central London to do an interview with Dominic Moen, which actually makes like a 12-second soundbite in the piece, but takes up 3 hours of your time driving in and out. So I don't think people are often aware of how much effort goes into.
It's painful, isn't it, to run back here as well to edit on time as well. So, I mean, you're very close now, though. It is just the final sort of tweaks. What have we got? We've got 13 minutes to go.
12 minutes, yeah. I mean, seriously, in 12 minutes, I've changed the entire tops of packages.
Really?
Yeah, because you can do that kind of thing, but we're not in that kind of situation. It is a finessing operation at the moment. We've got all the interviews in there. We've got someone criticising Liam Neeson, understandably. We've got John Barnes defending Liam Neeson. We've got somebody advising Liam Neeson, and we've got the man himself. So all of that is crammed into a package which is just under 3 minutes, I think, isn't it?
This is the scary thing when you find it's 3 minutes 10 and you have to try and cut 15 seconds out.
I think we're going to be all right. We may try and reduce it in duration for later on, because programmes later in the evening have got less time available.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's fine.
We'll leave you to it then. I sense that we've come at an annoying time, because you do need to check these things, really, don't you?
Imagine if this had happened to you at 10 to 4.
I'd be cursing you at this stage. Thanks, Ian. We'll hand you back to the live feed then, so that you can get these final moments building up to the 5 o'clock hour.
Thanks very much, Katie. Great stuff today, really given us a real insight into different roles of different people in the newsroom. You can see it was dark when we started this morning. The sun was just coming up. It's just getting dark again as the sun's going down again. The newsroom a lot busier now at 4:45 than it was at 7 o'clock this morning when we started broadcasting Sky News Raw. If you're just tuning in, you just about missed it. The reason we're doing this today is because it's our 30th birthday, 30 years today that Sky News began. And so because of that, we have been broadcasting from 7 a.m. Behind the scenes. We've got 32 cameras around the newsroom. We've brought you reports from our Washington bureau, from correspondents out in the field, and from our Millbank studios as well, just to try and help you understand how we put out the news at Sky News, how many people are involved, where decisions are made, who they're made by, when they're made. We've been in quite a lot of the key meetings throughout the course of today, the early morning 7 o'clock, 7:30 editorial meetings, story meetings throughout the day, and we've sat in with production teams and listened to them as they've talked about the different stories, how they're going to treat them. We've followed reporters like Ian Woods on a story throughout the course of the day, and we've been in and out of the gallery throughout the course of the day as well. You can see Francesca in the middle of the room there. She's just walking away with the dark hair. She is looking ahead to the 5 o'clock news programme. She's in charge of the daytime output on Sky. So this is the last few minutes before the programme goes on. Quite a tense time. She's got Andy sitting next to her. They're working together. Let's listen in.
What article was that?
Strong trade conditions in
I'll get the
What do we do? What should we do with it?
It's only mid, isn't it? I think.
It's not an opener, is it?
No. We've got the pictures there, and then we can put the pictures and the read.
Yeah, we'll see. Paul's trying to see if Martha can do it. I mean, at least mark it for us.
Oh, really? Yeah, we've got, I don't know what this is. What is this?
So Francesca's now talking to Paul Harrison on the news desk. Paul has been a bit of a regular feature of Sky News Raw. He's popped into a lot of shots today. Some say he's rather hogging the limelight. But he's in charge of the home desk. He's in charge of deploying reporters and crews across the UK.
Let's do it just before Hatton Garden. I don't know, where you've put it, that's perfect.
So they're just working out the timings of when one of their live reports are going to be on. She should check with Paul that it's OK if you put the person on at that time. Also been liaising with the foreign desk today.
Yeah. Will you keep an eye on that for us?
The 5 o'clock news programme, of course, in the afternoons, as America's woken up now, so we often get a lot more American news. Of course, anything to do with Trump. Venezuela's also featuring relatively highly on the running orders today. We saw Andy in the afternoon meeting this afternoon talking about both of those stories. And that's across the road at Sky Central, and there's Mark Austin. You can just see him nipping out the back of shot. He has just arrived at the glass box. It's where we broadcast from throughout the day, throughout the week at Sky News. There he is, just walking along the walkway to the production desks, getting his microphone on, presumably, doing the final bits of prep. I'm sure he doesn't know we're watching him. I hope he doesn't do anything embarrassing. I'm sure he won't.
Yeah, Christine's spoken to him, Joe. Right, I'm just going to go and check on the pieces. Will you just double check the top sequence again for us?
So Francesca, the producer there, is running off down the edit corridor, obviously going to check on the progress of that piece. There's Belinda, she's in charge of editing at the moment. She's sitting in edit 1. So Francesca, the producer there, is running off down the edit corridor, obviously going to check on the progress. Andy and Justin on the foreign desk. They will have made sure that any of the reporters that we're planning to cross to this hour in our international bureaus are aware and that they are ready to go. Francesca now just got ahead in that edit suite to check on the progress. Thomas, the producer, in there, giving her an idea of when it'll be ready. She's got 6 minutes till we're on air.
Briefs for everything, yeah? Eleonora, will you give Sophie the guest details? Okay. think we are all okay. You happy with the key points?
Yes, I've read through them and checked them.
Okay. Openers all look good.
Do you know what I have neglected to do? You haven't got promos in.
That's the running order.
Yeah, if you pop them in and fit them. Yeah. Say that again, Christine.
Stephen Murphy wants to be asked a question to help him say what he wants to say.
Okay, have you written it in, yeah? Okay. They're publishing now. If we need to, we might just have to flip them over, because I think Woods is going to be there before Johnson. But Stephen should use that time. Can we make sure Stephen Murphy's up in plenty of time, please? Thank you.
5 minutes till we go on air now.
They're just publishing now, so I don't have the package yet.
Okay.
But no, the package, as long as there's no problem with the package. Okay. All right. We're going in. Any questions about the 6, just buzz me. Okay. Super. All right, thank you. Thank you. No, it's not. I've floated it.
So Francesca and the director Darren now making their way into the gallery. You can hear Francesca's constant pen clicking.
10, 9,
Slight sign of
8,
nervousness.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Emily's
2,
counting off air.
1. Counting to off air, 30.
Sponsor White here, and White, and Jonathan in vision, Q.
This is Sky News.
20 to off air.
Plus Bob.
Austin, Theresa May says she won't allow the
Stand by camera 12.
on the island.
Plenty of
Off air
time.
count, 10,
You
9,
can stop early, go 12.
7, 6,
And mix, all
5,
rise, stand by
4,
promo.
3,
And
2,
run the bumper.
1.
Monitored itself off or on? It's monitored itself off red again.
4 minutes till we're on air. Mark Austin's now just making his way into the glass box. Thank you.
The one that was online, 1600. I just went.
So Jonathan Samuel's there just logging out. He's been on air for the last 3 hours.
Great, thanks.
And now they have to change the desk around and get it all ready for the 5 o'clock show.
I quite enjoyed that. Yeah. Good. Have a good one. Well done. See you soon. Cheers.
The circuit, we have the circuits up, but I haven't seen Stephen yet. I'm trying to work out if that's people waiting to leave. Is Teresa left?
I can hear you, yeah.
3 minutes till we're on air.
I'll buzz Mark and see.
I mean, it was 9, I meant, no, it was 6. I got upside down, sorry. There's Murphy.
Hi, Marcus Darren.
Yeah, hi, Dan.
Francesca Paul.
Go ahead. Mark, Francesca, just checking you can hear me okay.
Yeah.
Great stuff. You'll see we have now got a Brexit guest at 5:30. The brief's out on email for you.
Yeah.
And just to confirm, it's going to be Stephen Murphy at the top, not Faisal.
2 minutes to the ident roll, 2 minutes.
Okay. So it's a professor of sort of British and Irish history.
2 minutes to 1 hour.
Exactly. Can talk to us about the significance of the backstop
Yeah.
and the Good Friday Agreement.
Yeah. Yes.
Just give us a bit of context and talk about some of those things we discussed.
Yes.
What are the solutions?
Yes.
2 minutes to go.
Have we got Stephen?
I might just confirm before we get to Stephen, we've got the May grab and the key points to go through.
Yeah. Okay. How long is the May grab?
Thanks.
Is it just the?
It's about 50
Hi, Stephen,
seconds.
you're through to the gallery in London. Can you hear me? Yeah, hi. Hi, you're good to go. It's all quiet, but you hear the ident rolling in a minute to the top of the hour. So we've got Cons OS9, Stephen in Belfast.
Go ahead.
Also Cons OS5 in Woolwich.
Thank you.
And 1 minute to the ident roll.
We've just got about a minute to go here on Sky News Raw. Thanks for joining us today.
Stephen, hi,
We've
it's
been
Francesca
bringing
in
you
the gallery
what
here
goes
to
on
check
behind the scenes live at Sky News to celebrate our 30th
Stephen, just to let
birthday.
you
It's
know,
been
we've
a
got,
real blast watching
Theresa
it,
May
and thanks for
Grab
joining
as
us. Let's leave you with Francesca and the 5 o'clock team as they count down to the 5 o'clock news. And you can always turn across to Sky News at 5 to watch it go out live.
Adele and team in Woolwich, co-director in the gallery in London.
30 to the ident.
30 to
Have
ident.
people in Northern
Hi there,
Ireland
just checking in
been
with you. Not with
reassured
you
by
for a
what
while,
the Prime
but just
Minister
checking
said?
that, you can obviously hear me and you'll hear the programme starting in about 20 seconds.
Great stuff, thank you.
Okay, all good there. We'll keep
Stephen,
you
also, have
posted.
we seen Theresa May leave yet?
15 seconds to the ident roll. Counting to the ident then in 10.
10 seconds to the ident.
Okay, understood,
7,
thank you.
6, 5 to the ident. 4,
Mark Francesca.
3, 2,